Thank God it's Friday. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Alaja Nemo Akashat. Zibiri, how are you doing today?
Fine and grateful to God. Grateful to God for T.W.O Colawar's baby.
Oh, yes.
Congratulations. One day, and blow the trumpet of the pregnancy and then bam.
2 days later.
Next day.
Next day.
The wife don't born.
Yeah.
But now she's officially a mama boys.
I'm telling you.
Very unlikely.
Welcome to the club.
He said she wants to try again to have
Yes, yes.
our group talk. Congratulations, T.W.O and you.
Congratulations. We saw the videos of her baby. Fantastic.
Yes.
How you doing? I love your pink all the way.
Thank you. We're in the feminine energy.
I can see that. I'm trying to be all feminine energy, Jare.
This was royalty.
I didn't even know
Yes.
that.
Probably soft as well for royalty, yeah.
This dress, one of those.
Yes.
We are
I'm
doing
good. I'm good. I'm looking forward to T.W.O's event tomorrow, but I'll let her handle that. So usually Saturdays I take my kids swimming. That's our family time. So I'll see how I can squeeze it into today so that we do that this evening. By tomorrow, I can go for the event and be rest assured that the kids will be angry that I missed our appointment, and then also see how I can get my husband to spend time with them tomorrow. I don't know his schedule yet. So it's just going to be a weekend of learning. I'm looking forward to the event and how to save and invest more of my money.
Yeah. How you doing, T.W.O? Tomorrow is the big day.
Yes, it is.
This morning I just woke up and I was dancing. There's a song by Peterson, Victory Dance. I got the fight and I made a win, and I was just dancing and excited and happy. It's just one more night to the conference. We've done all that we can, and we trust God to do the rest. And really, my prayer is that for everybody that comes, they take away something that will change their financial game. That the knowledge they need, that it will be unique to everybody. So this one, and I already fired voice notes to everybody I can fire voice notes to. But I'm really excited, and you can still register. Just
if you don't register, can you just show up and you can register at the venue? So that it makes things easier. Because I'm Nigerians,
they just like to
wait
come.
till the last minute.
The last minute, they just show up. But
we just have to allow that because we actually have, there's overflow. The room can take 1,500. So far, we already have like 1,000 people that confirmed that they are coming physically. So we can actually still take more.
You rather than register
I'll love the register, but it's the venue is in Maryland. You can come in and register at the place. It helps us to plan. I know people are planning for, because we had to buy water. I just didn't feel like it was right for us. Even if we're not providing food, it's a free conference, and we are still giving you water. So show up.
But there'll be something to buy.
There'll be food vendors to provide food, but we are giving free bottle of water to anybody that attends.
Fantastic. Well done. Well done. Congratulations. Well done. So,
how are you doing? What's the plan for the weekend?
Our weekend had started, though. We just dragged her back from the weekend.
Yes, our weekend I was on my bed and I got a call and I just had to fly over here. So, cool. So tomorrow, definitely, I'm coming for the conference. My kids have a birthday party tomorrow. The parents of the kids, they really wanted me to be there. I'm like...
Is it you that invited them?
No, but they just wanted me. They were asking if I was going to be there. So I'm going to send the auntie with them. Then I'll see how I can be at the
wanted to be there.
Yeah, so I'll just be there. But I'd love to also show, because it's a really cool place, you know. It's a really cool place. I'd love to go there. But let's go on a short break now. We'll come back. We'll look at the front pages of the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thank God it's Friday again. So we're going to continue with the review. Tinubu governors agree on state police war on food crisis. No quick fix for spiraling inflation, says experts. Banks induce customers to convert dollar in account to naira. NANS tackles ASU on student loan scheme. CBN asks banks to withhold IOC's export proceeds for 90 days. Edo expect credible APC candidate from tomorrow's shadow poll, says Uzodimma. Okay, which story are we starting with?
So the CBN, they are making me happy this time. They have put in place measures to ensure shoring up of dollar liquidity in the Nigerian FX market. Number one on the list is that IOCs would no longer be allowed to just export proceeds of their sale from oils. So the banks are expected to withhold the export proceeds for 90 days, within which they will be made to fill a form as part of procedure. I want to read the Yibo and this thing go and hang.
Yes. Before
So-
they used to take the whole 100%.
Yes, they go
But now-
100%. Now they can only do 50%. But
yeah.
even with that, they will withhold the entire sum for 90 days under which they will fill a particular form on the basic prerequisites before the money can be taken out. Within this period of time, of course, we have some power to use the money within that time. And also, they have been directed that the payment of personal and basic travel allowances by banks should only be done electronically via electronic channels and no longer with cash. So a lot of improvements and measures that they are putting in place. This administration, let's not lie, they have really done a lot of things to just, bring
Policy.
amazing policies. But you see Nigerians, some people have thrived on the corruption over the years, and they would hate to see these policies just change their winning. So they will fight it. And what we are seeing, the level of cost of pricing and high cost of living, Nigerians to give up this your foreign taste. Let's, complement their efforts and let this economy improve. We can't continue.
That policy actually is not the most, you can smile at it, but it won't be good for us because we are looking for FDIs. People should come and invest here. You're not telling them they cannot collect their money when they want to collect it because of the economic.
In fact, it's such a good policy, they should extend it to networks.
There are different
So
ways
that those foreign networks.
But there are different ways of investing. You can actually come and there are different ways of investing. But in a related story, it said concerted policies on forex, power and transportation will tame inflation and engender a stable economy. Experts say the National Bureau of Statistics yesterday released its latest inflation figure showing that inflation rate rose by 98 basis points from 28.92% last December. According to them, there are no quick fixes. The spiraling inflation may take more time to abate, which is what relates to what you're saying, that times will continue to be hard for more time. However, they believe that these policies would actually eventually help to stabilize our forex market. The key agreements, including a reinforcement of security forces and consideration for establishment of state police, collaborative actions to improve food production and others, will eventually help in ensuring that we stabilize cost of food and forex supplying.
There's also another.
Doesn't mean we should be at their mercy. Other countries do this, and they still run their businesses there.
Yeah, so still in line with our policies, banks now are inducing their customers to sell the foreign currencies domiciled in their branches.
It's okay.
Yes, and they're saying they have developed platforms to sensitize customers on how the dollar deposits in their domiciliary accounts can be converted to Naira. They sent a note to customers that some of the banks said the domiciliary account holders can change United States dollars in their account to Naira directly in their internet banking platform. So there's usually a standard regular transfer. An instant, it's going to be it can be instant, you just change it. And the service is available between 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Mondays to Fridays, excluding public holidays.
So if you have
customers are expected to log into the internet banking platform, go to the FX transaction portal and select their FX sales, and then it's converted. They pegged the rates at 1,450, which is not as high as the black market. Black market is about 1.5, yes, 1.510, yes. And they are saying that aside from the fact that the limit is just 50,000 that you can move at once in a day, they are saying it's not compulsory. They are just appealing. If you want to, you can change your money. But if you also do not want, it's okay to leave your money.
You cannot withdraw the money.
USD, yes, you cannot
withdraw.
You can't, even at that.
You can transfer.
So I don't know if they've changed the transfer modalities. But the idea is that they want to show up our current
so if you want to travel now, I can't withdraw dollars.
This for me is a good policy because what we realize is many Nigerians are saving their money in dollar, which is showing that you are trusting the dollar more than you are trusting your own currency, strengthening the currency. But some people, like I put dollar because I'm paying for my
services,
my ads on social media.
But so you can transfer those payments. You don't have to withdraw the money.
I need those payments to continue to go through to the international ad companies. But if you go and withdraw now, they don't have dollar to give you. They don't have pounds to give you.
But why don't they sensitize us or incentivize?
Give me black market rates.
No, the Naira. I used to have people who would rather invest their money
hot topic.
in treasury bills, but the percentages is so small, so they rather save their money in USD.
I have a story. The president had a meeting yesterday. In that meeting, the president, the vice president, the national security advisor, the inspector general of police, and the director general of the state security service, all the ministers, agriculture and information. And this was an emergency meeting. The topic of conversation is insecurity and war on food crisis. The challenges of the food crisis has become a major concern to the president. So this emergency meeting was to address it. And so they had the security heads as well as the ministers for food, so that, for agriculture, so that we can resolve the issue. They said there are lots of banditry and kidnapping is affecting food production as well as the security challenges affecting food production. The president believes that food can be produced locally, but if need be, is willing to okay importation of food so that we can resolve the food crisis that we have right now. They've also come strongly against the hoarding of food and those that are restricting free flow of food within the country. The president also said that the governors have agreed with presidents. They've agreed on state policing. They said the modalities will be worked on. I know we've been on this matter of state policing for too long for us to still be working out modalities. We need to shore up our security so that farmers can go to the markets and food can begin to flow. We have too much arable land for us to be importing food.
It's a major hot topic for us because, there are a lot of young people out there, youth that are unemployed. It's sometimes for us to now use them as for police officers within the state and even regionally. So we have the manpower for state police. It's just for its resources that remains. Now, let me just move on quickly now to the Punch. OPS rejects food import, backs clamp down on hoarders. Naira trades 1,498 Naira to the dollar at official market. CBN tackles racketeers. Abductions. FG governors brainstorm on state police and forest guards. Wigwe, U.S. deepens probe as Senator Kolade visits family. Man in custody for allegedly killing neighbor over goat. Tanker operators threaten to stop petrol lifting on Monday. Okay, let's take one story.
The human interest story. So these two men, one Ajibola and one Akisoya, had a little argument over a goat. So according to the report, Akisoya had beaten Ajibola's goat to death. He had put dried yams to make a lubo in his compound to dry up, and the goats from one of those bred by Ajibola walked into his compound and ate some of it. He caught the goat, beat it to death, and he was confronted by the owner for doing that. And then that led to an argument. He called some thugs up to beat the owner as well. And then while beating the owner, they poured alcohol into his hair. They beat him. He became unconscious. He was rushed to the hospital, referred to the general hospital, and he later died. And the police have arrested Akisoya, and the 3 accomplices are nowhere to be found. But this is such an annoying one. This person has
from
more
a
than
lubo to
rage.
goat killing and human being died dead.
He kill goats, he still kill human being. Kill like kilo throw.
All right, let's go on a short break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch. Yes, any story?
Yeah, I have a story. This is concerning tanker drivers. So the Nigeria, I don't like being the bearer of sad news, but they said that there might be another round of fuel crisis or based on fuel scarcity in Nigeria, as the Nigerian Association of Road Transport Workers on Thursday have announced that they will not be lifting petroleum products beginning from next week Monday due to the high cost of operation. The NATO members have repeatedly raised the concern concerning this for a while. They said that the high cost of diesel is influencing the cost of trucks transporting this petrol, and it is not being reflected. So the oil marketers have told correspondents this Thursday that the diesel is now between 1,250 to 1,400 Naira, and that is depending on the area of purchase, and it is impacting on the petrol, and they cannot charge or collect that money back. And this is why they might be stopping the lifting of fuel. Now, we've already had queues even from this week. So I'm imagining what is going to be next. Please, let's not wait until NATO should not do this to us. They should keep on announcing and negotiate with the government. There's no need to down tools because the impact is not going to affect government. It's going to affect Nigerians like you who are also going through their everyday activity and they need the help of the use of fields. So I'm hoping the government responds to them fast today to avoid them downing tools by Monday.
Another story in Punch, let's move on.
Okay. The National Association of Nigerian Students disagreed with the assertion of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, that's ASU, that federal government student loan scheme will keep the beneficiaries perpetually indebted. That's the students who keep paying the loan for almost the rest of their lives. And, they had argued in the National Executive Council meeting that happened in Yenagoa, Bayelsa, that the initiative will not allow universities to have enough funds to function effectively. They also said that they were skeptical of the loan because it seemed like the ones in better managed economies have even failed, not to talk of Nigeria that we know is bedeviled with a lot of corruption, and it may not succeed here. And also the fact that they now want the scheme will now aid a lot of people to focus more on private universities instead of public universities. But the National Association of Nigerian Students are saying that they do not agree with what ASU is saying, that this represents a ray of hope for students who are not able to pay their fees. And so if they have an issue with it, if ASU has an issue with it, they should present their matter without, affecting the students who actually need this to happen. And also that they themselves, the students now, are capable of talking for themselves and saying what they need and what they do not need. ASU should just, face their issues with the federal government and leave the students' loan alone, because the students apparently need it. So it's been a back and forth between ASU and the National Association of Nigerian Students. But I think everybody's really looking forward to this loan taking place soon.
It's all good. Okay. Daily Sun, food crisis, government orders clamp down on hoarders. Police recruitment jammed to conduct CBT tests for over 171,000 shortlisted applicants. ASU insists federal government student loan remains rejected. War against media, Soludo aides destroy newsstands and newspapers. You failed to implement our demands, ASU tells Tinubu. Again, CBN raises customs exchange rate to 1,515 naira to the dollar. And rescue economy from collapse, reps charge federal government. Okay, which story are we taking?
Yes, so
Police recruitment. So, good news for those that are hoping to join the police, and I think that it's important that people take notes. We've been following this story, and I remember when we took the story the first time, it showed that the statistics favored some region in Nigeria having more people applying to join the police, and we'll see the result much later. So out of all the 36 states, about 171,000 applicants have been successful through the screening exercise, and are expected to take place in a computer-based test. So the CBT is the next level. After the CBT, they're expecting they would have at least 44,000 applicants successful, who would then go on to go through the practical test, which is going to be, the date for that test to be announced. This entire process is conducted by the Police Service Commission. They fixed the computer-based test for March, the 5th of March. And they also added the different cadre that will be recruited, the general duty cadre. They listed JAMB for the CBT, to carry out the CBT for them. Kaduna, of course, has the highest number of candidates, followed by Bauchi, Benue, Katsina, while Anambra has the least number of candidates for the aptitude test. Lagos, 500, Ebonyi, 600. The southern states need to, we've already passed this one, Sha, but let's just do better so that we can secure ourselves, because with this number of applicants applying from the southern parts, you are most likely going to be policed by...
I don't want to believe, we've always taken this thing that, that applicants apply more in the north and they don't do as much in the south. I don't want to believe that the platform for application was as open as that. For the south, because I had a feedback on the army application from Edo State, and it didn't look that open. Somebody read, yes, and it was further shortlisted. In fact, they had only one female from a particular region and it was further shortlisted. Wow. So I think there's a target. I think if that's not the case, let's hear from the employee.
Do a quota system that makes it compulsory for every region to support, to submit their list.
All right, so Daily Sun reports that there seem to be officials of the state government in Anambra beat up vendors in Awka. According to this story, the attackers, who were officials of the Awka Capital Territory Development Authority, ACTDA, disclosed that the state government does not want any newspaper to be sold on streets. So heaps of newspapers were destroyed. The aides to the governor also beat up people, especially vendors at the Popular and Roma Junction, and destroyed POS machines. Why do they have to destroy?
As in,
So it said that the action of the men of the ACTDA made passers-by and petty traders in the area to rain curses on the government and cause mayhem. And they say they're trying to clear up the streets of all these vendors and traders, but I don't know.
No, but why do they go through the
Designated
route of
areas.
destroying? We're always destroying things that we
Not
still
worth
need
it.
money to buy back at the end of the day and then spoil people's businesses. There's always a way to handle these things. But I have a sad story. So gunmen suspected to be herdsmen on Wednesday killed 4 persons in Imana village in Ikobi Council Ward, Upper Local Government Area, Local Government of Benue State. And according to the story, they said it happened in the evening. A community leader from Ikobi, Mr. Atule Amodu, was the one who spoke to newsmen in Makodi and said 4 persons were killed while 1 person was seriously injured. And he said it happened at about 5:30 p.m. On Wednesday. They had armed herdsmen who launched an attack in Imana village in Ikobi Council Ward. They killed 4 persons, injured 1 person. And they said initially when they came to attack, they were able to get soldiers to repel them. But then after the soldiers drove them away, they came back again. And how they operate is they come, carrying their cattle, and then as they are moving through village to village, they are dropping their warriors who are going inwards to kill the people. And that area is surrounded by mountains, so it was easy for them to just attack them and kill them like that. So if you come into that area, a lot of women do not even have food to eat. They are begging food because there's a lot of havoc that these people have caused them. But the chairman of the Upper Development Association confirmed the attack, talked about the bodies that had been killed and they had recovered. But the police public relations officer had said that she has not been briefed about the incident yet.
Okay, Vanguard, our last paper for this morning. Security Tinubu governors agree on state police. Climate Change NNPC Limited and Total Energies joint venture achieves zero gas flare. Sultan Obi Mon Asagba. CBN bars immediate repatriation of all IOC's forex earnings. Edo Guba, your decision not final. Ganduje tells Uzodima's primary election committee. 3.5 billion naira scandal. Peter Obi seeks probe of LP campaign funds. And Nigeria's hungry due to Tinubu's shambolic economic policy, says Articles 8. Okay, which story?
Do we have...
I had the major headline, but
Go ahead.
Oh, I did. So they said Oyo State shut 6 health facilities for quackery. So they said about 6 health facilities have been shut down Oyo State capital, by the state government over quackery. And the facilities were sealed. And according to the Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Prince Dotun Oyelade, he said that they had committed various offenses, including recruitment of unqualified personnel to provide medical services and engage in illicit practices. So among the facilities sealed were the new Jobi Memorial Hospital, Omolara Clinic and Maternity Home, IPED Amazing Grace Medical Clinic, Emiloju Clinic and Maternity Center, Ugbere and Safeway Clinic, Baremu, and Emilagba Clinic and Maternity Center, Ibadan. So, speaking at the inspection and monitoring exercise within the Ibadan metropolis, the State Anti-Quackery Task Force Committee Chairman, Dr. Adekunle Aremu, said the team had to carry out the operation as part of the government's effort to clean out the healthcare system so that we do not have a lot of people being attended to by quacks, and they will not be tolerating any form of quackery or substandard practice in the health sector. And this is likely to continue from time to time as well.
Okay, we have to wrap up, I think, final paper, which we can take. The Nigerian Tribune says UK economy falls into recession. Rising food prices push inflation rate to 29%. And that's all we can take on today's papers. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, move on to the next segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
3. Thanks for staying with us. So, a Nigerian man has shared a story of how his mother and his sisters, who he had been feeding or taking care of them since he turned 21, turned against him immediately after he had issues with his job. According to him, it was a case of fraud at his place of work, and he was placed on suspension for 2 weeks. He said he returned home to live in the house he built for his family, but his once loving mother and sisters began to treat him differently when they appeared he couldn't fend for himself. Now, the reason why we're taking this story is because we've heard stories like this quite a bit, of where people seem to feel that the love they get from their loved ones or their siblings is mainly because of the kind of money they're making or the revenue they're bringing or the facilities they've been able to create for their family or the comfort they've been able to provide for their family. That's the only reason why many of their loved ones care for them. There's this popular Yoruba saying that Olomaku, Ashinjelare, so it's because the only reason why Nima help him. Olomaku.
Rich man don't die, rich man don't die is because you are still rich enough to feed us.
Yes, that's the conversion.
Benefiting from you.
So, what are your thoughts on this? You can call us on 08107641679, 09024163440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Entertainment _. Please send your messages. We'd love to read your tweets. Okay, so this story was quite interesting because I was trying to be a bit more critical of the guy. I'm thinking to myself, okay, there was a fraud issue. Were you involved? What kind of a person are you? What's your character like? Are you involved in fraud? That your family, loved one already feel that you're a very suspicious person. So there are different angles to it. But what are your thoughts about the story he was trying to convey? That now that it seemed like I did not have any job, I was fired. Family now were beginning to treat me shabbily simply because they felt that I didn't have any more job. What are your thoughts on this? Let me start with Nima.
Okay, so of course we know with money and with responsibility comes honor. When a man is able to provide, is giving, they're always coming to him, you see respect. And so, sometimes some people will experience it when grief comes and you don't even see the same people that were always, maybe it was usually a crowded house. Suddenly you don't see those number of people again. They don't show up again. They also can't give. And so with it, I want to remember what BC said yesterday or the day before yesterday, comes that rest of mind. When you're receiving, you get that peace. So if something should trigger it, you look at the person like, what kind of rubbish mistake did you make that brought me this? Yeah. Because I don't know how to earn. I don't even want to be bothered. Yeah. And so men go through this. This story, I can relate completely. You know, they'll say, there's Olori Ebi, there's something. It's because, of course, when they come, they have a need, they meet him. And he cannot not say no. He cannot even try. He's always meeting it. But this man sadly tested it. He found out he's loved for what he can provide. Or, you know, he's loved for what he brings. People don't really love him for being their brother. And that's what is wrong when it happens in a family circle. So if a man is married to a woman and suddenly something tests what his provisions can be like, it doesn't mean that he's no longer the man. And if he's the brother as well, head of family, senior brother, younger brother, first son, firstborn, he shouldn't test those things. He should be honored as he would be honored. He should be respected as he would be respected. Or that family does not truly love him. This person narrated how even the mother.
But is it possible for a mother or sibling not to truly love? Maybe, so I'm trying to understand that story because I feel that there's probably more to it than he's telling us. So there are other parts of it because I find it hard to believe that your mother would, because of what you're not bringing, suddenly turn against you.
You have not met narcissistic mothers and narcissistic people. So there are people that naturally are selfish and the selfishness has gone so deep that it's now a problem. And so it cuts across how they relate to everybody around them. So it could be the husband, it could be the children, it could be the sisters, the brothers. And so for such people, you are only as relevant as what you can bring. Once that's your source stops and you're no longer able to bring, they just put you where they put every other person that is not bringing to them. There are people who naturally are disposed to appreciating people who they feel can help them. They greet people who they feel can help them. They appreciate people who they feel can help them. But once they see you in a light where you don't look like anything, you don't look like you can give me something meaningful to help me in my path or in my business or anything, there's a way they treat you, which is different from the way they treat someone who they believe they can gain from. And that happens everywhere. We see them in our families, we see them as friends, we see them as relations. It's just who they are, right? That's on one hand. Now, unfortunately, we have found ourselves here as a society. Back in the day, it used to be people who were educated that were so respected. If you come to a family, they're having family meetings, it's the one that is professor, or the one that is a lawyer, or the one that, let us hear lawyer and allow barrister talk, allow doctor talk. You know, the respect is because of the knowledge. Human beings will always find something that would help them put people on a pedestal. That's how we define, you know, people as we move on and define and understand our societies. But now, we have now gotten into a materialistic zone where it's no longer about, you can be speaking all the English, you're a lawyer, you're speaking all the English, there's nothing in your pocket, nobody will respect you. And unfortunately, some parents have also taken that in the way they relate to their children. So you hear parents who say, no, be your mates, buy car for a mama. No, be your mates, do this one for a mama. No, be your mate, do that one. When anything happens to any of the children and they are no longer able to provide, they will just push you. You become the scapegoat child.
Some situations where even families, where you have in a family where you have the lawyers who is probably doing okay, well, maybe it's slightly above average. You know, another one who is into some kind of trade and is making a lot of money. So he's giving more regard because he's bringing in more resources. He's the one that is able to buy a car for mommy, buy this. So the one that actually got the first class, the one that was actually studious, the one that was actually respected. You know how you have kids that want to so brilliant, and he ended up being a doctor and a lawyer, he's doing his own thing. But the other one that was very, very rough, rascally. Now making plenty money, has a house in Banana Island, traveling abroad.
Tell me, there's no decision you will take in that house without that one that is bringing all the...
So now the issues are the discrimination that we raise these kids with. One is more brilliant. Today, people are being faced with, okay, who do we accord that respect to? The one that got a first class or the one that is bringing in the dough?
The mega box.
It's a lack of values that has played out in plenty other areas. It's about the lack of values that we are seeing the results. When you value money more than everything, this is the result you will get in Nigeria now. When you value money, that a corrupt person would, as long as T.W.O is the song, then we'll see the results, which is what we're saying, that we are doing everything at all costs to make money, where people are not accorded respect based on who they are, but about what they give. That's where we are. So I hear the guy, I hear a victim mentality, someone that is just wanting to complain, but I also hear someone that is bitter, that I have made so much sacrifices. I've compromised on my value because, he lost his job because of something shady. So somebody compromised, because I compromised on my value to provide for my family. And now that compromise is costing me. Like many politicians, by the grace of God, that are stealing Nigerian money that will end up in prison, that will be abandoned there. Because we are in this problem because many people have decided that Nigeria is the cake they would cut and eat. And when they get the punishment, they should be abandoned. They should know they will be abandoned. Don't say that I made all these sacrifices, I stole this money, I did everything so I can take care of my family members, the next generation, and now life has happened, EFCC has caught me, and I'm left alone. So that's the situation we are in now. This guy said, I did everything to provide for my family members, I took care of them, and quote and unquote, I am now caught, I've lost my job based on whatever it is, and I'm left alone. You'll be left alone if there's anything.
Well, you don't have the details.
There are different categories. I'm just using an example. Let me land.
Okay.
Number one, he doesn't have family that care about him. He has family that used him.
Yeah.
Number two, he obviously isn't taking responsibility. He's feeling bad, which he's entitled to feel bad that these my family members abandoned me. But you move on because it's a Yoruba proverb that people help you to lick your hand that has oil. They will not lick the hand that has blood.
Right, yeah.
So when there is something, they would surround you. When money day, everybody is your friend. So those are the things that are playing out. And it is a norm in our society. People are your friends when you have things are good. Love makes friendship sweeter. It makes love sweeter.
There's something you raised I didn't want to forget. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll hop on that. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still discussing this issue of people being loved because of the kind of resources or monetary value they provide for their families. And T.W.O took us into politicians. I didn't want to enter politicians' net because the truth is that we see a lot of, not just politicians, let's just say wealthy Nigerians. Wealthy Nigerians take Nigerian resources, right, give for their families, but not even that, they go further. They'll build schools, they'll build hospitals, they'll build roads, they'll build stuff, and then, so to the world, they're philanthropists. The same thing, like this young man can be fantastic to his community, he can do this for uncles, for this. We are all celebrating.
But not to his immediates.
Yes, and even if it's immediate, they'll still enjoy. But the point is that we're not respecting him, we're not putting him on a pedestal, like, this is the chief, something. We're not giving him a title. And we all celebrate him. And then we ask ourselves, why are we still in poverty? The same thing, this conversation.
So that's on one side, right? There are people who are not politicians.
Yes.
They made their money genuinely,
yes,
right? And some people, there are people you call onions, in the sense that you reveal them, they spread out, but the people inside, like you that you're cooking, in the kitchen, you are the one crying because you are the one peeling the onions, right? But the people outside will be perceiving the aroma and waiting for that delicious meal that you have made. There are men in their homes who, outside, they give. They bless everybody. God has blessed them. You see it. But inside, they are not that nice. They still have family members who beg them for little things to survive, and they don't see it as an issue. There are other sides where they have tried to help such people, because we always have people who have this victim mentality. No matter what you give to them is never enough. We have that. But there are people too who they have helped, and there are people who refuse to help. They help outsiders, but they don't help insiders. Now, when things like this happen, people will like, hey, should be all the people you have been helping. They should come and lift you out of it. That's on one hand. Another part of, because there are different categories why this can happen. There are people who are unfortunately have married their enemies. Unfortunately are living with their enemies. You have a mother that is your enemy, like household enemy. They are there. Unfortunately, you have a sister who is so envious of you, who is an enemy. There are people who find themselves in such families. And when anything like this, and the only respect you even get out of them is because you are even dropping. Once you are not able to drop anymore, you now see the real character of the people you have been living with. And one of the ways that you can also check this yourself as the person who is giving and all of that is to first of all pray that you marry somebody who is your teammate. Because life can happen to anybody. Yeah. There was a point in my life where I didn't have a job. Nobody knew. There was a point in our life that he didn't have a job. Nobody knew, because we saw ourselves as a team. So we are together fighting everything the world brings to us. We are not our own competition, right? Okay, so you also must be careful. And what I advise people is, no matter how much you want to give, do not give from an empty cup. Give from a full cup. Your cup runneth over. Give from that excess, so that whatever happens, you are not beating up yourself that you sacrificed a lot to make this person who they are, and today they are not, living up to expectation, because people would always disappoint you.
Let me take this call. Samuel from Ilorin. Thanks for calling, Samuel.
Morning, Morayo.
Good morning.
I've been listening to what you people are saying for some minutes now. And then, can you hear me? Hello?
Maybe they can hear you upstairs. We can't hear you here.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, now
Hello?
I can hear you. Thank you very much.
Okay, yes. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
You see the problem you guys are talking about there is a societal thing. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
In this current economy, where a bag of rice is almost 100,000. Who is the parent going to appreciate more? Is it going to be a child who is a doctor and maybe who wants maybe a token at the end of the month? Or a child who lives in Banana Island? The society is in a big mess. The value system of this country has been destroyed already. Parents can no longer afford to feed themselves, not to talk of their children. If there's no way the society will not worship money, it's not possible. It is technically impossible for this society not to worship money. Because when you have this money, you have almost everything. Look at Nigeria now. Look at the religious center. Look at the churches. Look at the mosque. If you don't have money in these places, they won't respect you.
Thank you very much. That's an important point someone just made.
It is very sad, the way BC puts it. And it's not generally true in most families, but you see those exceptional ones once in a while.
Yeah.
But I want to believe that, yes, even though some mothers find it impossible to love their children equally, it is for lack of values. Completely, that a family would not understand the need indeed principle. When a person has enough and thinks of you and puts you first, provides your house, puts everybody on a salary, takes care of you, and then even if that person is still indeed out of need, is rich, he doesn't need you, it is value, it is principle and respect for you to think in your small way what you can do to give back. If family members were wired this way, there will be respect. And there's no time it will change. There are always ups and downs in life. There will be a downtime for one person. There will be an uptime for one person. It is always better to always think, how can I also give? You will have one person whose hand will be higher no matter what in family. Growing up, I remember they would bring one pickup. They used to call it pickup from the village to just pack at Ojo Elegba like this. My father would start offloading. And then he'll put it in one 504 car and drive all to all the Akokias that were my grandfather's relative. They'll be dropping yam, corn, because he's harvesting in the village. There's nothing that was fresh from the farm I didn't eat as a child. Even this native mango, everything, the liki came in bags. It came in bags. My grandfather didn't go to school. He sent his younger brothers to school. They were doing well in Lagos. So anytime he harvests, that's what I have. I will give my brothers. They don't have to ask. We add strong yams, fresh from the farm. So, but his brothers, maybe, I don't know, because they're all dead now, would take maybe whatever they have and give him as well. Yeah. He looked, that's how families run. But so when one person is down, you carry the other person.
I get that. But I would like us to unpack this guy's story on one side, because I think we've really exhausted a bit of it. But go to what Samuel just said. Today's society, our economy today.
The lack of value.
And no, we'll come back to the value issue. Today, you have two children. One lives in Banana Island, regardless of their sources. One is making a regular income, 9 to 5, is working, in an office, make 150,000 naira a month. One is very wealthy. And you value the one in Banana Island more because he's able to provide. Because right now, there's no food. The economy is bad. So the question is, why is society judging the mother for appreciating the Banana Island one more? That's what Samuel is saying. You are saying it's a value issue.
Yes, it's still a value issue. This is what I mean.
And Samuel is suggesting it's a survival issue.
No. If the example you gave is even better than Samuel's own. Samuel gave two extreme. One you don't have rara, and one is living in Banana Island, he has. Of course, Mama will be going to who is taking care of her needs. But if you have two children, and what are your basic needs? The older you get, the more wiser you have about this tono. What exactly do you want to achieve with the loudness, the wealth, the glamour, the extreme, extravagance? What do you need? If one child remembers you, in fact, it is important to value the child who can sit with you when you grow older, the one who keeps your companionship in old age, than the one who sends money. Because money, you can always send. But do you buy that conversation? Do you buy time? When they grow older, I have an old person now. I know that what they need more is to see me and have conversations.
Let me take this call from Damola. I'll come to you, Towe. Damola from Niger State. Thanks for calling. You're live. Oh, sorry, I lost that call. Who was going to jump in?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So I feel that there are a few things that we are sort of glossing over. Of course, I started by saying that it's a value system thing. So we know that it's a value. We have, as a country, our values are, we don't have defined values that we used to have. Our culture doesn't push it anymore. Our culture now is changing into prioritizing the person that is taking care of you financially. But until we become grateful for the intangibles, we won't see much of it. Everything you're saying came from intangibles. Everybody that has achieved something first had to look within themselves to achieve it. So I believe that the intangibles are the basis. Be grateful for the people that are not giving you money, but they're giving you their time, they're praying for you, they're counseling you, they're consoling you, as much as you're grateful for the person that is giving you money. Because at the end of the day, yes, money will give you comfort, but it doesn't solve your problem entirely. If you understand how the money comes, like where the money, I'm talking about money tomorrow, if you understand where your money comes from, even when the channels close, because you know the source, you can always regenerate. So that's why I am not going to be stuck on the channel that is bringing in money today. If God is using one child to bring in money for me today, I know that I'm not stuck on that channel. If that child does not become my source, because I know my source is God, I have added value, I have sown, I would always reap. I might not reap from where I sow, but I will reap what I have sown. So this man's story, he knows he has sown with the purest of intention. If he doesn't reap the gratitude from where he has sown, he would always have people that will be grateful to him and will support him in other ways. Now, to the story of Morayo and the parent that is favoring somebody, that parent is shallow. That parent is glutton. You are led by your stomach. You're not led by your values. You must love all your children regardless of what they can do for you, regardless of who they are to you, self. Because your parental love should be unconditional. It's not about what you are giving me. It's about who you are. I love you for the substance you carry. And I'll always project that on you. Because the expectation I place on you is what I will get. So when you see somebody that does not have money, as in a parent doesn't have... And we've seen it. I've seen examples of... You will see parents that will tell you that the person that is taking care of me is the one that I'm talking to. You will disrespect the older sibling because of the younger one is the one paying you. You are changing the game. And it will not work.
Ibrahim from Satellite Town, thanks for calling.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
First of all, I would like to congratulate Okolawo.
Yes,
engineering together in school.
Wow.
I hope you remember Ibrahim. Coming to today's topic, actually the society is not helping, the economy is not helping. So that's on one side. On what Madam Nima said, that we as family, you know, maybe you have been collected from your uncle. I just say it. I say from day one you've been collected from your uncle, and you have never used one day to say, let me give my uncle this. Right from you were young till you graduated, you are working, think of, what would I give my uncle? What would I give those who have been giving me? Nigerians some of us are that selfish, and keep depending on this man till we die. So we too, we should learn to give back. For those who don't have, mothers will not discriminate. You know, because hands are not equal. So you must always think somebody will be wealthier than another person. So that you can't, you know, there's nothing you can do about that. But how will you relate so that somebody will not feel bad?
Yeah.
And don't come to our traditional rulers. They give, you know, titles to only those who have money. No matter what you are doing, some people are doing gambling and they will be giving them tips. And we have professors who don't have much. They don't give them traditional titles.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Ibrahim.
Yeah.
You're going to jump in?
Yes. So I personally do not believe it's because of poverty. Because there are poor people who have value, who understand what life is more about. Life is not based off of the material things that you have. And that's where a lot of us miss it. We define you based on what you come with, what you have, the name that you have made, the cars that are following you, the clothes that you wear, the hair that you... We define people based on material things that we see, things that are perishable. And then we lose the essence of that individual. And even if the world defines you like that,
Yes,
It is not the job of your parents to define you like that. A parent is supposed to find that intrinsic value every child carries and understand that these children are not equal, they can never be equal, but they all have the value that they bring to me and the home and to the name of the family. And you nurture them in that regard. In a family, you may have one who is doing exceptionally well financially. There's one who has better emotional intelligence. There's one who you can call at any time. He abandons everything he's doing to come and nurture you. That is it. You cannot buy that with money. So, but we like to just, because this one is giving me, and it's a matter of greed. Yes. Because if you ask me, you know, it's only in this part of the world that we are looking at our children as our retirement plan. Other parts of the world, there's nothing like that. As we are working now, we are saving for our retirement. So when your children, whether they give you or not, you are comfortable. The little that they give to you is just for prayers. Which if it comes, if it doesn't come, it doesn't come, it's okay. You are praying for them. You are giving them. You are helping them to even start up their life. You allow them to flourish. When they now start giving to you, you bless God for it. But it's in this part of the world where, as we are training you, we are counting when you will quickly finish marry and come and start training us back. And that mindset needs to change. That's the only way we can go out of this, where you as a parent, you have raised these children, but you are self-sufficient. You have worked hard for your money. And also, let me call a little bit of government. The basics of life takes away some of these things that we grab. If you check the mentality of people who have the basics of life. There's good schools for their children, there's good transportation, there's good Medicare, and all of that. They are not into grabbing, because they have the basics, and that's where you even see more creativity. Somebody can afford to stay in the lab and say, I want to research this ant for 15 years till I find out what makes this ant tick. Now, because you get light, and now because you chop belly food, and now because you know they beg for food, right? So, because we are depraved, for whatever reason, we see these resources being carted away, and we are struggling to, I would rather push Top down so that I will get something. I would rather push Nima down so that I will get something. We are now even bringing the fight to our family members, our friends, our neighbors, because now it's dog eats dog, survival of the fittest. So
now we have
ramifications, we need to begin to...
We have to wrap up very soon.
I feel it's very important. They gave an example. A wealthy person and you have poor people around you, you know you have a responsibility. It's a key responsibility. It's not easy to lift people that don't want to be lifted. But if you understand the system, you must find a way to help your family members. It is not a thing of pride to say that I am the richest, no decision is made if I'm not around. It is a shame upon you if no decision can be made in your family in your absence. You are a poor leader. You are actually poor in your mind. If you think your money buys you so much relevance that you want to keep on shining as the biggest person, how you know you are a superstar is when you stand. All your siblings stand. They don't even know who has money or who has more money. Everybody is shining their light.
There's a saying that I absolutely love, and since I've heard that saying, that's always guided me. So that you are so poor, all you have is money.
Yes.
Like when somebody is just all you have, there's nothing.
You're only bragging rights.
You ain't got nothing. It's just money. And what is money? Because the truth is that once you have the basics, really, you know.
But so on the flip, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, Mo was talking about solutions, and because we know how this mindset is raised. When you start to say to your child, you'd have gone to London. Is that my brother that refused to help me? You know, or your child is saying with a relative, all you do is, did they feed you? How many meats did they give you? You said, I groom an entitled person. This person grows up, makes money, or, you know, is used to receiving and doesn't know what it is to give back or how to respect back. The way I was raised, the person that helped you when you fall down, you must show some level of gratitude. In fact, lifetime of gratitude. The person who raised your kids. In our marriage list, they will put the person that plaits your hair. In my village, the woman who plaits your hair, there's a list for her money that must be paid. So show that you owe more than money back to the people who come together as a community to raise you. So when a person grows up like that, that person is now down. The community comes together
to raise him up.
Change our culture of values.
Yes.
Go back to valuing
value of appreciation, gratitude follows need. So you must always be able to grow like that to give back. And that's how we must.
Yeah,
show that.
we have to wrap up very soon because our Valentine, it's still Valentine's season. No? This one, we're talking about this serious matter. So it's our Valentine's season. It's our final Valentine episode. We're going to be going on a break shortly. But I think in a nutshell, really, is that we need to restore the values in our system. We need to, our eroding values must be, we need to reignite the essence of who we are and not to put money over value and appreciations of our loved ones. And I love the analogy BC gave on how it's now a dog-eat-dog world where all of us are now just hustling because we don't have the basics, right? And now we're trying to push each other, and now we're pushing our families just to be able to get some basic necessity of life. I think it's a good analogy for us to take home today. Okay, let's go on a short break. When we come back, but I have to first of all thank once again our sponsors. It's always important to thank them for this lovely set. Venture Furniture for the rug, the table. I'm still going to thank them later, but it's just a good. I love the couch they sent to us. Blesses Art for the decor, and also Royal Hug Surprises. Thank you so much for all you've done, especially this week of Valentine's. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we're bringing our guests. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So join us right now, a Nigerian show business couple, entertainers, television personalities, and entrepreneurs, professionally known as T.W.O. Welcome with us, Tunde and Wunmi Obe in the building.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Good to have you both. So this whole week, we've been celebrating Valentine's.
Okay.
And we've had couples on the set, different people just come and share their stories of how they are maintaining the flame.
I think I caught Shehu and his wife.
Yes, and we had a few people also during the week. So just thought, you know what, let us, grand finale today, let's have somebody who is in the entertainment industry and also you've been there for years, and both of you are still a couple.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to find that, especially in your industry. And it was just important for us to just have a conversation with you. How you doing?
You're fine. Great
to have you guys back.
Great to be with you.
So let's talk about love. First, what did you guys do for Valentine's Day, Wednesday? Don't tell me you didn't do anything. No.
Any outing?
She's turning like, what happened? What is going on? Is that old school for you?
See, is it when you get to a certain age, it's not about the hustle.
Wow. I know, right? So that's the reality of life.
Yeah, and
But I still got her a gift.
You got a gift and you're still complaining.
Well done, sir. You said we would
Okay.
we didn't go, and I'm not complaining, really.
Okay.
I'm not complaining.
So, but you got a gift.
Yeah, I got a gift
Aww.
for him or from him. From him.
Give him something?
That's the cool.
You receive Valentine.
You did not do Valentine.
I thought I ain't bad past that. Better late than never. Anything can still happen. Anything can still happen. Of course, every day is Valentine's Day. Yes. So I loved the fact that we've actually had, this is our third couple, and the first, Shehu was of the opinion that we don't do Valentine, I give gifts anytime I want to give. The second, well, we do Valentine, and here we have a case of, see, life happens, and I think it's a very healthy balance that life is lifing, and it doesn't mean that marriage is over.
I think it depends on what stage your marriage is in. We've been together, this year is 36 years as friends, married for 26, so we've done a lot of Valentines. In fact, in the early days, we used to have an event every year, called Cupid's Ball. So
yes, remember, we used to wear white.
We've done it and done it and done it. But
you are now it.
Yeah. So let me ask the question in this way. Some people are watching you right now and they're wondering, 36 years, how? How? Like, how did you survive 36 years with the same person?
Journey.
Give us small tips, sir.
Yes.
Well, no one said it would be easy. No one, and it isn't. And it can never be for anyone. Because, two separate individuals with different tastes and different ambitions and all, dreams and aspirations before you even meet. And then you have to come together and synergize, so to speak. There will be clashes. There will be clashes, you know, things that you would eventually tell yourself that, you would tell yourself along the way that, I didn't sign up for this. Like, what did I just get myself into? You know, so you get to that stage and, you know, at the end of the day, it's about, what does this person mean to me? Is he or she worth fighting for? You know, so you can either give up and say, no, this is not my dream union, no. Or you can say, you can tell yourself that it can't be perfect. But how can you, if you want it badly enough, what do? You know, what are you willing to do to keep your union? Because easily it can fall apart like that. You know,
so recently, a pastor, somebody was speaking and said, you know, it's more dangerous to marry women who are comfortably on their own, comfortably living on their own already. You know, they can't stand...
Independent.
They're independent women. They can't stand so many things in marriage. And you just said, how much do you want is enough to fight for it? And, you know, it balances that idea for me. Some people don't want it at all. You know, they just want the idea of being a missus. They don't know what it means to be married. How much would you say a person would want it? How are you ready to be married? How do you know you want to be in a marriage?
Okay, like when I say, how badly do you want it? How badly do you want to be with this particular person? If you marry for the wrong reasons, for instance, let's say you marry for money or because there's peer pressure, family pressure, societal pressure, and all of that, you'll probably end up going for someone, maybe the first person that asks you or something. You're not very picky because at that time you just want to be a missus at all costs. At the end of the day, you don't want it that, but you don't want to stay married that badly because I don't even love the person anyway. But if this person compliments you well and you know that you're very compatible, this person makes you truly happy, you probably will fight for that union. So that is what I mean when I say how badly do you want it.
I need to add something?
Yes.
I think he wanted to add something.
Well, later in marriage, it becomes more about, I don't know how to put it. You know, the butterflies start at the beginning and then all that lovey-dovey, then now it ends up becoming, this is my person. When you can tell yourself, look at your husband or your wife and say, this is my person, then you are good to go.
You're good to go. Now, do you do anything deliberately to keep the fire burning? Because I understand that in marriage, especially marriage as long as yours now, at some point, butterfly would have disappeared. Some other things would have disappeared. There's a lot of sea finish. And sometimes you're just like brother and sister. Now, is there anything you deliberately do to just keep that fire of intimacy, passion, you know, keep it ignited and keep it running?
Well, it's important to always make, at least for me, to make the other person feel wanted. You know, I still try to chase her around. I'm still always in her space. I run away, I come back, you know. But I think the most important thing when you get to a certain stage in your marriage is to give each other some space sometimes and allow each other to just be, you know, individuals. Because if you don't do that, if you're too much in somebody's space and choking the person, those are the things that make people want to go their separate ways.
I was going to say a few questions in my head. I don't know which one to say to go with first. But were there deal breakers for you? It's 36 years. Were there things that, okay, if he does this or if she does this, I'm done. It's over.
Well, he hasn't done those yet.
But you have deal breakers.
But there would be deal breakers. Yeah, there would be deal breakers.
Getting physical, maybe?
That is a sure deal breaker. That is, if you don't put your hand on me, you know, and hey, that one, there's no
compromise.
There's no coming back from that. There's no sorry, I won't do it again, and then you wait. No, there's not. Once is enough.
So, sorry to add again. I'm sorry. There's another question that was in my head. I don't want to forget all those questions. I'll probably write them down. But I know that you come from a very big family, a Boderian family, and he was a musician back then also. There was a lot of coming together and telling you against the world that, you know what, whether you guys like it or not, I'm with this man, I'm with this girl, we're going to do this. 36 years over, looking back, Was it worth it? Or do you think like, oh, maybe I should have just gone to find one Harvard guy, you know, that daddy will be proud of, or no, you know what? Or, like, do you think 36 years, like, it was worth the initial stress you could have possibly had of getting married to somebody in the entertainment industry?
Well, yeah, for me, the most important thing is how that person makes you feel. It doesn't matter where the person's schooled, where it's from, what the person's family background is like or anything. We did click. I mean, we met in school anyway. So we kind of like started off on the same footing, on the same level and everything. And we grew together. You know, so for me, it's so far, as long as there's encouragement from the side, as long as each person can be the other person's cheerleader, number one cheerleader, always encouraging you to be the very best that you can be. For me, and you know,
I'm trying to imagine how your house usually is, because you're both well, what we see online or on TV before was that he's always funny. You always have this different voice thing that you do that I remember right now. Like I can imagine all the voices that you usually do. How is it at home? Like
when you go to the home part, sorry, I wanted him to also answer the question because I know you're also from a wealthy family. How was
the influence of powerful families?
Yeah, so that's the question. That was the question. The influence of powerful, marrying somebody, the publisher's child, and you're like, what was all that drama?
If I remember correctly, that was on the basis we clicked initially. In '88, when we first became friends, we used to talk a lot, and we both came from, her father had passed, so had mine. And we both had a lifestyle change after our fathers passed. Like we kind of dropped in status.
Right.
And we also had these friends who were no longer friends because your father wasn't alive.
Connected on that level.
We just connected on that level, like, oh, okay, you've been through that as well. And, you know, okay, no problem. We're going to build our own empire.
Amazing.
Love it.
That's so cool.
The family.
So yeah, family. How is it with? How do you bring in the comic feel into? Do you have the comic feel, or is this like, oh, this is our life on camera? When we are home, we are serious people. Yes.
There's no day we don't laugh.
we're probably worse at home. Here we play on cameras. We play it down. We really downplay it.
Oh, wow.
99% of our jokes are not for TV.
I believe that.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I would like to ask about finances, because I know you guys built an empire together. You joined forces. We know the two brands, you know, Tunde and Wunmi Obe brand, and I'm wondering, hey, money no cost fight, because we see some celebrities these days, couples that can't continue. If our marriages break just because of that, and I'm wondering, how did you do that? Did you ever have such?
How did you resolve spending pattern challenges?
I think we need to thank God that we started from ground zero. We started together, and we didn't have much at the beginning. People might find it hard to believe, but there's a lot of family dynamics involved in our lives as well. So as things became better, I mean, we've never had any quarrel about money. I can't remember. Have we? Never.
Wow.
Money has never, ever, ever.
Seriously?
Never.
Wow.
An issue.
It just is
But I
what
can
it is.
remember.
It's because it's not like for instance, I'm not expecting that. You couldn't buy me that thing because I need you to buy me that thing or get me that thing. Everything we do is always channeled towards family.
No, let me ask the question
How
like
do you
this.
share
that you have a you have a common purse, right? Do you have a common purse? Not necessarily. Okay. So there's a bit of because we've heard a story about some celebrities saying that he was spending so much.
Or you took my money.
Or you took my money, or you spent my money.
Well, at the time when the band was very active, the band, we were always on stage, we had an account, a corporate account, that we're both signatories to. So, I mean, it's just a matter of this is what we need to do, this is what we need to do. And I think a lot of people don't even really understand one thing. Anytime we make money, we share it 50-50.
Wow.
I don't take more than her. Never.
Wow. Interesting.
Sweet.
So maybe a lot of people will learn from that. I'm the man.
I work just as hard, so
You know,
Was my song
They are confirming the story.
yeah.
It's not. It's the truth.
I no go agree, sir.
There's nothing to lie about.
We're seeing her.
50. I take 50. She takes 50.
Oh,
And the way we run our home is such that, as a man, I believe, before we had our own our own place, when we were still coming up, I believe a man should pay the rent and do certain things. And she also always supports.
So you mean in that 50-50?
You will still pay rent.
You are still the chief responsibility officer for the house.
Exactly.
But I do my own stuff.
You support.
Definitely.
Yeah. That's how it should be. Like, I see the way I'm blushing.
You know, I think Wunmi is a very unique person. She's extremely, when you say a wife is a helper, that's what she is. She just looks at it. She knows I'm a very shy person when it comes to money, so I don't discuss it. He needs help here. She'll just do it. Oh, sweetheart, by the way, I gave this guy, I sorted this side, and that's it. Oh, thank you. And we move on.
You never felt like he was a comfort
Question. You're not the only one
Novice.
sitting here. So I want to know how, what your fight language is, how you resolve issues.
Conflict resolution.
You know, sometimes couples have different, just the way we have our different love languages, they have their different fight languages. Some people want to be left alone. Some people want to have that conversation now.
Out.
How did you both start, and how have you now agreed to, or what you have agreed that works for you?
I think we're both talk it out people.
Yes.
We talk it out.
Sometimes, like for instance, I may see him, maybe he's not happy about something. I don't know what it is. And he's not saying it. I'll be like, I'll just remove myself from that space. Like, okay, there's bad energy in the air or there's negative vibes in the air. So I just remove myself from that space until
He's ready.
such and such. Yeah.
He's ready. Same with you?
Yeah, you see, we have this thing. We've agreed that we're both educated enough not to use negative language
Oh, yeah.
when we're discussing or having any kind of conversation with ourselves.
Amazing.
Stupid, yeah, all those kind of insults never come up. So when I'm angry or when I'm very upset and I don't trust myself to express myself, you know, in a way that is civil, I stay away for some time. But she knows because I'm always disturbing her. I'm kind of the kind of person that's always joking and laughing, you know. So if I stop talking, because then she knows, okay, it's something wrong, let me give him some space.
But I don't know what it is. I mean,
But you respect him enough to say when he's ready,
something is wrong.
he will talk about it. That's good. I hear a lot of
You
mutual
guys are
respect.
always in public. And if it was happening in public, is there a code that you people used to tell you?
There's a look.
There's a look.
Yeah, uncle.
Is there a look?
Sign language?
You have sign
We had
language.
that in public before.
When we were younger, Wunmi is very bubbly, but as she's getting older now,
Calming down.
calming down.
I can feel
I'm missing the bubble. I'm missing it too. I'm missing her bubble.
Many years ago, Wunmi is all over everybody, and sometimes I'm like, calm down, you know, calm down, you know. So she gets.
But let's discuss growing older together. 36 years. There are multiple seasons in a woman's life.
Yes, sir.
Even me right now, I'm not understanding myself. And I'm totally different. I married in my 20s as well. Like you're different in your 20s, you're different in your 30s. You're different when you're giving birth, you're different when the children are in secondary school. It's a different experience in university. How has the changes, and I'll start with you because I know it's more, women tend to be more expressive with the changes in our lives. How has it been relating with her in those different seasons? Sometimes are you just looking at her like...
Initially, I didn't used to understand it. I'll think, oh, maybe she's done. You know, because she's just done. She's tired. You know, because sometimes I tell myself, like, you know, I'm happy. But is she happy? You know, sometimes you wonder, it's been so long, so many years, and you just wonder, is she bored?
Oh.
You know? So I don't know. So sometimes when she starts to, but after a while I started understanding it, that everything was coming with age. You know, when she turned 40, there was something she did. I don't want to talk about it here.
Maybe she will say it by herself.
When she turned 50,
there was another thing.
You know, then you just see that she'll say no, this, and you'll be like, what's going on? But I think if you love somebody enough, you work with them. You know, because I mean, if I throw my tantrums as well, she
understands.
She understands. Okay,
Like to hear your own version of this.
What did you do at 40?
Give us gist.
Well, not really like that, but one of the first things that happened was that when I was turning 40, the question to myself came up. What do you have to show for that period up till now? Like, first of all, for your entire life, then you now ask yourself, from when I got married till now, what do I have to show for my life? You find that at a point, like all these years, all I've done is be a wife and mother. I go to school, I get talents, there are things, so many things, and I ask myself that I've not achieved any of this. Or you start to question everything, and then you grow angry, bitter, resentful, hurt. You know, so many emotions come about, and you now start. Initially you'll be like, no, can't continue like this, can't continue like this. By the time 50 came, it was like, right.
I'm done.
It's my way or the highway. That was it. It was like, if I'm not going to, if I don't, I'm doing me now. And if I don't, otherwise, I'm done. I have to do me because I've paid my dues. I have done everybody else but myself all these years. It's time to look out for number one. You know, so those phases, you know, I mean, I'm thinking this to myself, but hey, you can imagine the way I was expressing it. The feeling.
But what would you have done if you had said, okay, the highway?
Like, we're not doing
you.
But there's love now.
The way you were, where I was at.
It was the highway.
Highway, no. Where I was at,
I can almost relate. And the reason why I say I can relate, because I'm happy that we're having this conversation. Lots of women I'm 43 years old. And I'm getting to that point where I'm asking some hard questions to myself. And I'm asking myself tough questions. My husband is asking me, are you happy? He keeps asking me that question. Are you happy? Because you come to me, he's like, are you
Is there a club they go for that class?
He keeps asking, and I'm like, leave me, I'm okay. But in my heart, I'm like, wait, there's something. So I'm happy that you're saying this.
He started maybe seeing some changes in you.
Yes, he will be talking, and he still feel like he's talking like a radio, like I'm not listening. Like I'm blank.
Changes. It's like maybe you're looking, because women always tend to be I think this is my logic. I might be wrong. I think women who are in very, very stable marriages, maybe they have it so easy. That's what I think. Because I think some women have so much stress in their marriage that they don't even have time to start thinking, I'm telling you, because he doesn't even have your time. It's when you have a man that has your time.
But sir,
I agree.
See,
how you say
genuinely.
So,
That's what he's saying.
I think it's both ways. So I get this question every time: are you happy? Are you like? Do you want to really know? Because I think the emotions, the thoughts, I don't know where they're coming from. They're just from my feet all the way to my head.
Yeah, it's hormonal.
The most acknowledge their hormonal.
Do you realize that as women change and their attitude changes in the marriage, that some husbands don't even notice?
That's the worst one.
Some people are married to men.
I don't want to experience that.
Some people are married to men who don't even
pay
notice.
attention.
They don't pay attention to you.
Wow, that's horrible.
You can be sulking, you can be moving. He's doing his own
But you
thing.
see, I think we should
You'll be going through that on your own.
What you said.
But your husband asks you, are you okay? Are you okay? It's because he's watching, he's connected.
But you see, I want to go back to what
lucky.
you said.
Is
it that we are spoilt? Because let's think about it. A woman who is having a man that's not coming home, that is actually either having a side chick spending money that is stressing you. You won't worry about all these things that we're worried about.
Statistically, Nigeria don't have statistics, but global statistics show that women divorce in 40s and above women come mostly from the women.
Yes.
So something happens hormonally to women in their 40s.
It's been biologically explained.
It is important that we share that information and men are aware that, yes, women get discontent above 40 and most of them file for divorce. They're not in
and the discontentment comes
if you did not ask that question, divorce will have happened.
Discontentment comes from the fact that you feel what you said. We have made sacrifices, and you're thinking, okay, what is it? You see other people that are doing flourishing.
You're also losing estrogen. So what that does is that's your your laxity to accommodate is going gradually. So now
can't take
things
it
get at you. Now you're acting like the man the way he used to act before. Because as you get older as a woman, you're becoming the man.
Yeah.
You're very right.
So that's what happens. Now I like the fact that you mentioned that because you are paying attention, we are blessed with good marriages, and that's why you will see them still standing strong after those phases. If you happen to be in a home where they are not paying attention to you, at some point, if you are financially empowered, you carry your bag and the marriage collapses, and you cannot even explain why the marriage has collapsed.
Yes, I will be like, I didn't do anything.
Exactly, they never do anything.
You know, his thinking will be that she's found somebody else.
But can you tell us how you managed those
phases?
So that you can help some men watching right now and wondering.
If I must be honest, I always try to be. I thought the end of the marriage had come. Wow. But I didn't want it to be me. Yeah, I wanted it to be her. So let her make up her mind that she's done. And I've said, okay, can we be friends for the kids? And, you know, going forward, how do we do this? Because we have so many things together.
How did you manage your emotions at the time? How did you feel exactly? Did you feel like you had failed her?
I think I was having a few too many shots of brandy at that period. I'm a loner.
Naturally.
So I don't really have friends like that. I have a lot of people I relate with, but I don't open up to people. I'm not that kind of person that sit down and begin to discuss my wife. I don't think I've apart from one person who's much older than me, who was my friend, that I've ever discussed my wife with. I've never discussed my wife with anybody. So it becomes a time when you're quite lonely as a person, because you want to be happy, but she doesn't seem happy, and it's like nothing you do seems to work. At that time, she's just like.
How did you get out of that?
You know, and most of the time, first of all, their first thought is that you are seeing someone else.
Oh wow!
So there's that. There's that thing that they will think that there's got to be somebody else. And I'm saying, so I once said it too. I said, you men are just overrated. You're not feeling cool. It doesn't have to be someone else. I want to be with me. I want, you know, I need my time, my space. I want to look out for me. I want to love me.
Yeah,
you know,
self-love.
Self-love. That's what it is about. Sometimes you want your space. You just want to be by yourself and reflect on your whole life. Okay,
I think the secret to helping a woman get over that period is to always still make her feel, I love you. And then leave her alone.
Give her space.
It's not enough, have you?
Love her and give her
I love you. When they say I love you,
No. It might not be, but when he leaves, you will think about it, that this man loves me. Because you know, I mean, it got to a point, she had to be honest with herself and says, no, I'm being a jerk. Did I? You must have come to some...
Because at the point
realization,
this is not cool.
Let me move the conversation a bit to parenting, because I know raising kids, 36 years, you should grandparents
right now. There are men and women now.
Wow. 36, come on, you're grandchildren.
25 marriages.
20 was 36.
So friendship. We've been together for...
So how has it been raising children, especially together, coming from... Yes, you had similar backgrounds, but how was it, especially when you have knowledge, you're thinking, one is reading about parenting, one is like, I don't care, I'm going to do how my father taught me. How did you merge both your experiences in raising these children?
Well, first of all, on my own side, and I think maybe for both of us, initially, you know, when you become parents at first, you tell yourself that, I'm going to raise my child like this because I was raised like this and I didn't die. I'm going to throw my child in that boarding house. If the child gets bullied, so be it, because I was bullied and I only came out stronger. Our Gen Z of today, our children are Gen Z.
They can't deal.
They can't deal. In our time, there was no such thing as mental illness and depression.
They have it now.
They have it now. Just shout at them or tell them or scold them for coming home with bad grades. They go into depression. I've known of students who have actually committed suicide just because they were berated for coming home with bad grades, you know? They can't deal with it. Me, us at home, we know we'll be dodging them. We know we're always strategizing. We had resilience. We were rugged, you know, back in our time. So that was one of the things we had to learn along the way. We thought we were doing the right thing by raising them the way we were raised. And like, what is there? Why can't you handle this? Then with time, we began to realize that we're just in a new era. In our time, there was no social media. There was no internet, really. So we were seeing each other face to face, relating with each other face to face. Not having people online who are giving them audio vibes as how a perfection should be. You know, putting themselves out there with filters and Photoshop and all that, and
making them uncomfortable with
going to
themselves.
pose in front of someone else's property and saying you just bought a house or a car or something, and then you that you're watching, you start getting depressed. That what am I doing wrong?
Well, I'd like to see, did you ever disagree on how to scold, correct, or
Punish.
punish your child? Your children?
Who's the good cop? And the bad cop?
I guess we had our own styles, our own ways. I got to know the Gen Z factor faster than he did. So I was starting to understand. Before it was like, is it don't spare the rod and don't spare the rod and spoil the child.
Spoil the rod and spoil the child.
Yeah, that's how it was. But then as time went on, we just realized that, you know, sometimes these people just need to be talked to in a firm manner and a way that they would understand. All this, in my days, I used to this. It
doesn't work.
They use it as mockery now. They say, Mommy will say, Daddy will say. You know, they will be using it as their private jokes, like in my days. They don't like hearing things like that. It's like, hey, that was your day now. Why must I? Okay, you say you used to trek to school from Kine because there was no... So therefore, I should trek.
My thinking was that as a father, and the way we were brought up as well, it's not a popularity contest. I'm not your friend. I'm your father. I love you. I can take a bullet for you, but I am not your friend. I want you to do well. And that is my only goal in life, is to make sure that you're okay. But I started to bend.
You have to bend.
On the other hand, I am your friend. I'm your mother, but I'm also your friend. I want you to be able to tell me anything.
Yeah. So, but that's a good balance.
That's a good balance.
To always come back, come.
But as a friend, do you keep their secrets from daddy? Because sometimes they want to tell you, but they don't.
She does, though. She does.
Yeah, absolutely.
She gets quiet.
Yeah, because I know what he can handle and what he can't. And I know some things that if I tell him that, no, this is not going to go down the right way. But because I understand how they're thinking, yes.
You can always tell him later when it has blown. Yes.
Yes.
So we have to wrap up very soon because we have, it's Valentine's and we're celebrating all our couples and thanking you so much. In a few minutes, we'll be wrapping up the show. But I have to bring in a small token from the ladies of your view to say thank you for coming. I'd like to call in Royal Hug Surprises to bring in the gifts for our guests.
That's sweet.
Royal Hugs, please. Woo, woo, woo. Come in and let's celebrate our guests.
So I'm getting the Valentine treat.
She'll do it later.
So that is... No, she's giving
We get the saxophone.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. We just wanted to celebrate you and wish you a happy Valentine for coming to join us. Thank you for coming. We really appreciate you sharing your love story with us, sharing lessons. Nigerians, we've learned from you. Even we have learned from you today and understand that, you know, it takes two to come together to choose to work together. Thank you so much. Any final words?
No, we just appreciate you.
Thank
For
you.
all of your gifts that you shared with the world at the time we were growing up. We looked up to you. We are happy that you're still there as a model for a lot of people out there.
It's now our turn to watch you guys.
Thank
So
you so much.
we're watching you, and you guys are doing how do I put it? Exceptionally well.
Thank you. So I have to thank Blesses Art again for our studio. Thanks to Vento Furniture for our furniture, the rug. Don't worry, next week we'll bring you back our table because we love this, but we can't keep it. But Vento, thank you so much for being such a fantastic sponsor and support of this week's Valentine. Also, thanks to Royal Hug Surprises. Thank you for the lovely gifts you've given to our guests
all
week long. And today was Tolu Lope Lamidi's birthday. We forgot to greet her.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday, Tolu Lope Lamidi. God bless you. She's one person that she always knows everybody.
Running
She's
around.
like the female version of the Lakpon. She always contacts you for events and everything. So she's always your connect for anything. Tolu Lamidi, thank you so much. Happy birthday. God bless you. Thank you again.
Thank you for coming.
God bless you. Have a fabulous weekend. Join Your View Pigeon tomorrow, 9 a.m. Don't miss it. See you Monday. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.